Hello again, first graders. Welcome back to Sort It Out. Mr. Height, your science light here. And we did some I Spy, and you can play that throughout the week. At the end, if you have a little bit of time, that would be a good game to play every day. But today we're going to look a little closely at another way to sort. And you should be making an anchor chart of all the different ways that you can sort objects this week. But specifically, we're going to do these particular ones. So today we're going to sort by weight. So when I say the word weight, what does that make you think of? Might be thinking of like light or heavy. And when I mean by light, I don't mean like science light, like a bright light. I'm thinking light as in doesn't weigh that much, like a feather. Feather is very light, doesn't have a lot of weight. And you might hear that word weight or even the word mass. So weight, as you've learned about gravity, gravity pulls things down to Earth. So weight has to do with gravity, that effect of gravity on you. So your weight might change. If you eat a big lunch, you might increase your weight a little bit. Gravity's pulling you down. So your weight can change because of gravity. But your mass is always the same. You're always the same mass. But your weight can change because of gravity. So that's just a little bit about that. So we're going to use words like heavy and weight, and we're going to look at some different objects. And one thing you can do is just kind of put them in your hand and go, wow, this one's heavy, this one's light. But what happens if you have more than two objects? Let's say you have 5 or 6. How would you be able to sort them? Would you sort them like the heaviest to the lightest to the heaviest? That would be up to you. You could sort that the way you choose. And there was a great song that said that that's the cool thing about sorting is you can choose how you want to sort. It's all up to you. So let's take a look at some items to sort. So I'm going to switch over to our camera. And these are items that I've already used. So I have, a new item in there. So I have our battery again, and I have our little spinner, which is a lot of fun. I have a bouncy ball, and I have a very odd bouncy ball, bounces but doesn't roll very well. And then, whoa, look at this. I have the world. So I have the world right here. Very cool. So automatically you might be thinking, well, this is the biggest, so it must be the heaviest. And that's sometimes what we think. If it's bigger, it must mean it's heavier, but that's not always the case. Sometimes you can have a very large object, like a balloon, and you can have like a rock, and the rock is heavier than the balloon because the balloon is full of what? Air. So air is very light. So just because it's bigger doesn't mean it's the heaviest. Okay, so looks like I have 5 items here, and I want to choose and sort these. And I think I will do, and like I said, you could do lightest to heaviest or heaviest to lightest. I'm going to do heaviest to lightest first, because I already have an idea of which one is the heaviest from day one, and I can just kind of pick them up, kind of feel that gravity pulling them down. That's why we have weight. The battery is definitely the heaviest. It really stands out as being the heaviest one when it's in my hand. So the battery is the heaviest, so I'm going to put that over here. Okay, so the heaviest, and I'm going to go down to the lightest. Wow, this is definitely lighter than the bouncy ball. So I'm going to put that over here. Just get it out of the way. Definitely the little spinner is lighter than this bouncy ball. Now I've got 2. This bouncy ball is definitely heavier than this bouncy ball. I notice that it's not solid all the way through. You can actually see through it. So I know that this bouncy ball is probably solid inside. So I'm going to put that next heaviest. Okay. I'm going to try these 2. Ooh, that's This is harder. They get really hard. Like it's really hard to hold, especially in your hand, to see which ones get lighter or heaviest. You even if you really want to be accurate, the best thing to do is use a scale. So you can have a scale which will actually give you numbers. You can put an item on one side of the scale, and on the other side you have little weights that have numbers on them. And I'm going to do a little demo for that later. So it's good to learn how to use a scale. And that scale will actually give you some numbers. Like it might say that this ball weight has a mass of 20 grams or something. That you have a number, and this one might be 21 grams. So you would know which one would be heavier, and it's a lot more accurate rather than just kind of holding them in your hand. Okay, I'm going to say that this is hard to tell, but I'm thinking that this ball is a little heavier than the big world ball. And now I have my last two, and this one's really tough. That's why I would really like to use a scale, because it would really tell me. I bet they're very close in weight and mass, but it really does feel like the world ball is a little bit bigger, and then the spinner is the lightest. So that's what I have. I have heaviest to lightest according to the way I sorted, having the battery the heaviest and the little spinner as the lightest object. It was kind of easy here because I was able to really compare the heavier to the lighter objects, but it was very tough when I got to the lighter objects. Scale would definitely helped me figure out exactly which one was lighter and heavier. So you should have some objects, some various objects either from around your house or your classroom, and see if you and a buddy can do some sorting from lightest to heaviest. If you have a scale available, it would be great to learn how to use that scale, especially when you get some items that are very close in weight. They're very close in weight. It's going to be a lot harder to just put them in your hand to kind of feel which one's lighter or heavier. The scale will actually give you a number, which is great. So I hope you have fun with sorting by weight, and make sure you guys explore that a little bit more. And we will see you next time, scientists. So see you later, first graders. This was Mr. Height, your science light.